Anyway, joining me on our newsmaker line is Barlavi. Did I say that name right?
Yes, you did, John.
Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
now,
having me
you
on.
are an expert in the fascinating world of New York real estate. Of course, you've probably been taking a few hits over the last 5 or 6 years, have you not?
In the outer boroughs of Manhattan, for sure, but our Manhattan real estate is going very strong.
You know, the one thing, and I don't mean to speak, off turn here, but, and I'm just being honest, the one thing that constantly is in the back of my mind as far as Manhattan real estate, buying an apartment or something in Manhattan, I can't help it, but it's true. It's a dirty bomb. Call it fear, whatever it is. Boy, one dirty bomb goes off on that peninsula. Your land is absolutely, most definitely worthless. I don't know, and I'll tell you, driving in and out of the Midtown Tunnel, taking the Long Island Expressway in, taking the Midtown Tunnel into Manhattan, there's security there. I remember not after 9/11, you felt like you were going into a fortress, but nowadays, a little more lax. But I don't know. I'm just hoping that they're doing the right thing. So far, they are. But who knows what's going to happen with de Blasio? Hey, listen, let me ask you that, Paj. Has the fact of Mayor de Blasio being elected and now he's instituting all these what I would call socialist-type policies, has it hit you guys at all in real estate?
Not yet, but we are expecting, a lot more sales to come up.
Some big dollar real estate, I would think. I mean,
yeah, the taxing the rich and trying to get more money for the preschools and the schools from the rich is going to scare a lot of people, and they're going to sell before all these taxes hit. If he does,
Maj, it's an interesting dilemma there because, okay, let's say, and this is another thing that's always fascinated me about Manhattan is there's wealthy people. And I lived in Manhattan for several years. There's a good number of wealthy people, but if you're standing on, let's just take a block. If I'm on the corner of Central Park, let's pick this, Fifth Avenue, and say 57th Street, all right, which is Central Park.
One of the richest zip codes in the whole country.
Right. Okay, I'm standing on the corner. You can see the Waldorf Astoria there. You can see the Pierre Hotel there, and let's say you just look north. You can look in either direction, quite frankly. But just for the sake of argument, you face north. I'd venture to say that just about every single mailing address on the right-hand side from 57th Street all the way until the end of the park, I would think, huh, Paj?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a millionaire. I'm thinking. I mean, unless you just inherited some apartment, you're one of those, like, holdout hamsters.
I mean, you have to be.
You have to be, don't you?
$2,000 a square foot on average on that block that you were talking about.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
Even a small 900 square foot one bedroom is costing you nearly $2 million.
So, Paj, here's a question for you. Let's say, we all just agree that, because the cost of living here or having your primary residence here is so, and especially when you're talking those type of tax dollars, because, it's one thing if you're just a middle income person and you're taxed a little bit more, that's a number. But if you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, man, that's a big number just living in the city. So here you have a guy or a woman saying, you know what, I've had it. I'm not paying anymore. I can move to Florida. I can move to Arizona, wherever there is, no income tax. Okay, and I'll get the heck out of here. Now, here's the dilemma, Paj. He or she puts that huge apartment on the market. Let's say it's $20 million. I don't know, $10 million. Let's be reasonable. $8 million. Whatever.
Sure,
$10 million.
Right.
All right. Now you got to figure. The only other person buying this thing that's in the market to buy it would be another millionaire.
There's a line of them. John, I read the other day, I was reading a statistic that one $6 million home is selling every 3 weeks in the city.
That's amazing, Paj. That really is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We get calls from overseas, from
is it a lot of
regular
overseas
New
people?
Yorkers.
Yeah.
A lot of overseas, but many of these new construction, new developments that are happening on 57th Street and some of the ones on Park Avenue downtown, they're attracting a lot of the local New Yorkers. You know, some of the old school money that's been living on Sutton Place or living on the Upper East Side. They want something newer, and
you know that's another
buying
thing. That's another thing, Paj. How do you sell? Let's say, okay, you already have all these thousands and thousands and thousands of apartments on Fifth Avenue. Let's overlooking the park. Okay, that's kind of unique. Then all of a sudden, another 30-story building goes up with X amount of apartments, hundreds just came on the market. I find it hard to believe that those which they do, those other apartments that have been there forever, probably old pipes, old electric, old utilities, whatever, are maintaining their value when a brand new one goes up, you know, just a stone's throw away. That place has always amazed me.
You'll be amazed. Actually, 10 years I've been in this business, and I still get people that want that old school charm. They want to be in that pre-war building. They don't care. The pipe bursts and they fix it and they move on. I mean, it's
thank God for that, right, Paj? I mean, now, what's your business? Are you a real estate broker and seller, or?
Yes, I'm a real estate broker. I represent both sellers and purchasers.
And what's your nationality? You Pahlavi. What would that be?
Iranian, Persian.
Iranian. So do you speak fluent Arabic? Is that Arabic?
No,
Is
Farsi.
that Farsi?
Farsi.
Are you fluent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can speak it fluently, but I can't read it.
Oh, well, you're half there, So anyway, that's interesting stuff. Now, as far as there was an article I called you on, and I hate to go off tangent here, but there are a lot of things I wanted to shoot at you as soon as possible.
I love real estate. I can talk to you all day about it.
I do too, because it fascinates me. Ever since I played Monopoly as a kid, but you know what? They actually, they started getting a hold of my tactics, because I always wanted to be the banker. And somehow they couldn't figure out how is it that John never loses money? He's never out of money. Well,
John the banker that pulled money for himself.
I mean, what the heck, I mean, you wanted me to be the banker. I'm the banker, But anyway, there was an article in the New York Post. Many New Yorkers living in foreclosure limbo. So apparently, and the story goes on, and we only have about half a minute. The story goes on about how these people are in foreclosure, and they stay in foreclosure seemingly for years. Is that right? So
yeah, I think currently, in 2012 or 13, the average was about 1,000 days in New York.
So they're in foreclosure. Are they paying their mortgage, paying their rent, or what?
No. They're just living rent-free, mortgage-free.
Mortgage-free, jeez. Yeah, that's another thing. New York's a very difficult state as far as New York law on landlords having bum tenants. Paj, it was a pleasure having you on. Next time I have questions on real estate, I'm going to give you a call if you don't mind.
Please do.
God bless, my friend. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Paj Barlavi. Very interesting. I don't know if you enjoyed that, but I like that. I spent quite a few years in Manhattan real estate. Just walking up and down the streets is